What is up? This is Colonial Puppet, and this is part 1 of Let's Play Cities Skylines, which is a game that's been out for a couple of years, but I recently discovered it for myself. I have been playing a whole bunch of it and thought I'd do a Let's Play to replace the SimCity 4 Let's Play that I started a while ago, but haven't really updated. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. Instead, I'm going to be playing Cities Skylines. It's a newer game. And it's a whole lot of fun. Got some DLCs for it. Got the Disaster DLC, which adds some disasters to the game. March Madness Match Day DLC, which adds some stadiums and whatnot. And the Pearls from the East DLC, which adds some, I think, parks and landmarks from, like, Asian countries. Like, I know that one tower in Shanghai, I think, is in the DLC, as well as some other interesting buildings. So, without further ado, I'm going to start a new game, start fresh, and right off the bat, you're given a bunch of plain maps. The ones with these were added with the Disaster DLC, but they're just regular old maps. Out here, you can see outside connections, which is like road, rail, and there's water, but I'm not sure if there's is river connection. Let me hover. Ship connections and plane connections. Okay. So I want to pick one with all the connections. This doesn't have ship connections, but it has everything else. Let's do Grand River. And I know it said there's maps were special to the Disaster DLC, but all the maps are affected by disasters. You can actually turn on random disasters, which I'm going to crank all the way up for this Let's build to make it more interesting, I guess. And I don't know, see where that takes us. If they get too intense, I can turn them down, but alright, I'm going to turn this down quite a bit. Let's pause this. I don't know what that voice is saying. I've never heard that before. Let's go to options, audio. Let's turn it down to like 10%. Alright. There we go. That's better. So right off the bat, you're given this connection to a highway. This is how people get in and out of your city. I like this map because it kind of gives you the option to eventually build a bridge. And I don't have any. I have one mod installed right now, or I'm using one mod, and that is starting off with $1 million. Normally you start off with like 10,000, but I'm cheap, and I'm going to start out with $1 million. I don't have infinite resources turned on, or infinite money turned on, obviously. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this straight out. Gonna, I don't know, start a city. Alright, build that out like that. Oh, that was that. I want this to be as straight as possible. As you can see, the graphics are a lot better than SimCity 4. SimCity 4, I'm not sure if it was true 3D. It might have been, but you couldn't move around like this, obviously. You had like 4 different perspectives you could use. And of course the zoom in, zoom out, but yeah. So I made a little square, I guess. That's nice. Next, what am I gonna do? Well, the first thing you have to do is get some water going. Get some water source. Get a water source. And you see these little arrows that's actually showing the direction that the water's flowing. So it's flowing that way. And that's actually really important because this is a water pump. And it doesn't really matter where you pump water, but what does matter is where you dispose of all your sewage. So if you put your sewage pump upstream from the water, or your sewage pump upstream from your water pump, your water will become contaminated and people will die pretty rapidly. I've had cities fail because, not even for doing that, but for putting a think I put a water tower too close to pollution. There's a lot of little details like that in this game that you really have to watch out for. Let's get out of this mode. Like pollution and water mixing, or like even little details like what I said, putting the sewage downstream from the water pump, so you're not pumping up sewage for your people to drink. Alright. And this grid system's really nice too. I like to build out like this. Alright, so we got that going. Not too worried about money right now. Keeping it paused so I'm not paying for these roads monthly while I'm building. Alright, so next thing I need to worry about is power. So I'm going to extend some power lines. And then I'm going to build a... Before I... Oh, didn't mean to do that. So to destroy that... Not too worried because I have the $1 million start. You can actually check the wind and how powerful it is. So it is strong here. So yeah, I guess that would work. Just building it like here. Noise pollution is a thing too though, so I kind of want to build it far away from where I'm going to be developing. And speaking of developing, that's the next thing I have to do. Actually, I lied. I need to make sure this section is watered. So I'm going to build a pipe to this corner, connect it to there, and just build like this. And you can see the yield. So obviously the center is not getting water, so I'm going to build one down this street. I'm not sure if it really faults you for not building under roads, but it's a good way to stay organized, I guess. Now I'm going to make sure that power is getting to this. So there's power there, and that's going to be carried down here. So I'm going to have to build this like so. And it's saying it's not connected because nothing has been built yet because I have not zoned. This is our RCI demands. You can see it's green, which means they only want residential zoning right now. So they don't want any in office zoning or industrial zoning. So let's zone for some houses. Plop this in like so. And I'm going to de-zone this because I don't want people being built, houses being built here. This is going to be a high traffic area because this is where people are going to be coming in and out. So let's unpause the game, speed it up, see what happens. Got the power going. Everyone's powered. You can see like the power as it grows. People are moving in. And as that happens, you can see the demand for housing goes down and the demand for office space, commercial, and industrial start to go up because these people need jobs. So I'm going to oblige and start building that. To do that, I'm going to... Where do I want to put my industry? I don't know. One thing I'm going to do, though, is this. I like having, like, a strip of commercial. Like so. I still have it as the paintbrush. I want to just fill it in. Like that. So that's cool. Yep, so they're building. Now there's huge demand for industry, which unfortunately I haven't unlocked resources yet. I think it's this one right here, natural resources. You can actually view, I don't know, these guys do not have power, so I gotta build that there. Boop. Now they have power. you can't really tell where resources are on your land yet, but that will happen eventually once you level up and get people. I'm still in the red, not making any money. I'm losing money every month. Man, look at these graphics. Wow, great, wow. And as we progress, we'll unlock a lot more stuff. Obviously, educational buildings, whatnot, fire, police, all that good stuff. But we'll also release unlock higher density zoning, so like big towers and whatnot. So let's get started and give these people some jobs. What is zoning? Oh, I unlocked the economy panel, which comes in handy, especially if you're not a cheater, unlike me, and you start off with the allotted like $10,000 or $40,000, I think. You can get loans, which I don't have yet, but you can budget, do taxes. I'm gonna mess with this down the road, but right now I don't really need to. Nope, don't want that. I want this. And I'm right-clicking to dezone what I accidentally zoned. Now I have to make sure this is watered. I only zoned for this area, but I know I'm gonna have to expand that soon. So I'm just gonna do this entire area. So I got that. Probably gonna need power, which I'm going to run from here to like this corner. That's where they'll build from, hopefully. And then this road's going to become high stress because people are going to be going to work, so I might want to upgrade that now to a 2-lane road. I'm actually going to pause because I think I just destroyed their power source. Oops, going to lose a lot of money because I'm destroying a lot of houses. It must be done. Alright, so that's like the main road kind of right now. Alright. So we got that. Let's double check to see. Yeah, so they don't have power anymore, so I'm gonna have to rebuild that connection. Like so. There we go. Oh, and as you can see, industry is booming. But don't worry, the crash will come. It usually happens. They overbuild industry and then, yeah. So now the demand's going down. I'm really bad at growing industry for some reason. You can see the electricity availability. So once that ducks down to like here, you'll start getting rolling power outages. Same with water. If you build a bunch of water pumps but not enough sewage, they'll start getting sewage issues and start getting sick or complaining about sewage in their running water. But water pumps are pretty powerful. You don't really have to worry about them until the population gets really big. Even then, you just have to build another one, and it's not so bad. So we're going to just let them build a little bit. I got Little Hamlet, which I reached a population of 360 people. And with that, I unlock landfills, elementary schools, and medical clinics, which are important. One thing to note about schools, if you're really good with education, some industry will start to fail because they don't have enough uneducated workers. You need educated and uneducated workers. So it's kind of evil. You have to like build certain populations with good access to education and some without. So that's one thing to look into when you're playing this game. So I just built an elementary school because education is important. I'm going to build a medical clinic because we need healthy people to grow a city. And then I'm going to build a slope too steep. Bullshit. Here we go. But I want to build it next to the main road so that... Alright, there we go. Trash is really important because people will get really sick and they will... like, it will become an issue. And then traffic plays in with that. If trash trucks can't get to houses, then more people will have trash build up, and it will not be fun. So just built a bunch of stuff. Probably going to go in the red again. This is our surplus right now. I don't know. It's actually staying pretty... Oh, it's because it's... If I speed it up, it's going to drop pretty far. And we have money to burn as of right now. But once the population... it's starting to level off now. Now it's going back up because we're getting more people. But as you can see, power is dipping below. That one wind turbine isn't doing enough. Hello. Eventually we're going to have to break down and buy a coal power plant. But right now I'm going to be environmentally friendly and build another wind turbine. I like using wind turbines because they're... oh wow, you can see it kind of fluctuating based on the wind patterns. These people don't have enough workers, which is why these things... So if I just click on one of these, not enough workers, oh no. That's why there's a little demand for housing. And again, that might have to do with the fact that I just built an elementary school, which is a little weird because... no, I think it just has to do with population. I don't think... I mean, even uneducated workers need at least a elementary level education, I would think. Another important thing, which we haven't unlocked yet, landscaping. The people in your city like to walk around when they can. So building walkways is really important for fixing traffic issues, which are going to become a pain in the ass as the city grows. Oh, it's a little tiny house. Huh. And I like the ambience. Like when you zoom in, like it changes with the zonings, like busy, ooh, I'm a worthy village. Busy, commercial area to neighborhood sounds, like lawnmowers. And when you get over to here, it's like spooky, spooky industry. And you can see like the kind of aura of pollution, which is unfortunate, but whatever, man. Gotta get that money. So kind of an even split of demand. However, we unlocked a lot of new stuff. Fire is pretty important. Again, I want to build on the main road so that I can access both the industry, which really needs it because, you know, flammable, like industry kind of goes hand in hand with fire safety, and then access to the houses, of course. So we built that. I don't know why this doesn't have power. It should. Oh, it's because we don't have enough power. I think now we can get rid of this. Oh. That's one issue I have with the game. I feel like I have to click a lot more to get stuff done. Let's build a power plant right here. Alright, cool. So now let's let that run. Takes a little while to start up, but there, now it's on, giving everyone power, as it should be, right? That was interesting. There we go. Took a little, kind of struggled a little bit at first, I don't know why. Police stations are also important. I kind of have this like theory from, or this Ooh, districts. Districts are important. Does that mean we... Oh, yeah. So this is the resource panel. As you can see, we have some pretty fertile land right here. Other resources include ore, which there's some over there you can kind of see. Forest and whatnot. And what you can do, so say there's fertile land right here. I can actually branch out. And even before you unlock that, you can kind of see it if you zoom out. What I can do is I can build a like area. Where is it? It's right here, right? Yep. It's like right here. There's a lot of fertile land. So I'm gonna build like a little area. And I'm gonna zone it with industry. Then I'm gonna go into district mode, paint in a district like so. And no one's gonna build yet because there's no power running here or water. Although they might build because sometimes they're stupid. Then right clicking to, it's kind of like Photoshop, you right click to subtract. And then what I can do is select the type of zoning. So this is going to be farming industry. Boom. So now all the industry that develops here is going to be farming industry. If I were to do the same thing over here, if there was fertile land here, I could do the same thing and all these buildings would actually deconstruct and convert over into farming or whatever I choose. So that's pretty cool. And again, no one's building here because there's no basic necessities like water and power. Then I can build a thing right here. They may, and let's see if they start building. Although maybe not because there's no real demand for it. I'm not big enough to like manufacture demand. So we'll wait on that. See if they start developing. Right now we need people. So I guess they need jobs. I'll build another. Let's build a zone right here. And let's put some housing. Alright. And now they're going to start building. And once that happens, I no longer need this, because the houses carry the power out. Zone that. And within zones, or districts, you can set rules and whatnot, which is pretty awesome. And also helps with traffic. So now they're starting to complain about crime, so I'm going to need to build. I have money to spare. So I'm going to build a police station, again, close to the main road. I don't want to destroy anything, really. I'll build it here. There we go. Let's run the main road. I don't know what I'm hearing right now. Oh, the radio. Why am I just now getting that? I haven't gotten the radio in a while. I turned it off. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, this is Twitter, basically. In SimCity, you had advisors that would advise you on anything from transportation to safety to education and health to finance. In this game, you have tweets, which kind of give you hints on what you should be doing. Come on, Mayor. Doesn't the city board come up with anything more modern than farming? So I guess they don't like farming, but whatever, screw them. Let's see some more tweets. Kind of like city production of electricity, but there are environmental factors to consider. Hashtag smog, so I think they're pissed that I put in a coal power plant and destroyed the wind turbines, but again, compromise. Let's play this more, and then make that connection. Tiny town, 1,200 people. So we're getting there. Let's zone that for office or commercial. There is a difference, but they're both blue, so it's easy to get them mixed up. Office is for, it's actually right here. It's to, it like kind of satisfies just random highly educated people's need to work. They don't really produce anything. It's just it's almost like artificial jobs, I guess, but not really. I don't know. Anyway, so one thing I learned is that you don't want to really have one central area dedicated to industry, and to cut down on traffic, you kind of want to break it up into different areas, which is what I'm going to try to do right now. So I'm going to dezone that and make this industry a little bit smaller. Instead, replace it with housing. So let's take a look at our city. Press this to kind of just go into a stripped back cinematic view. Little trucks. Things are going slow, so let's speed up the process. Do some zoom arounds. So one thing that'll definitely help fix traffic is taking some stress off of this road, because this is our way out that trucks are going to want to take. And I have a feeling they'll take the shortest route, which I think is through like busy neighborhoods and whatnot. So what I think I'm going to do, oh, I got a farm. When you get close, you get like animal noises, which is hilarious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build a 2-lane road out of this. So I'm going to destroy all these poor people's houses who just built there. Switch to the straight line tool. After that, upgrade this. Hopefully I can upgrade this. I'm going to destroy the only farm that decided to. There we go. So now I have another main road, kind of outlining the city. And one thing I should do is this. It's good to, like, don't be afraid when you're playing this game. Don't be afraid to, like, really kind of go at it and mess around with your infrastructure. Like, don't be afraid to destroy buildings and uproot homes. They don't really care. And plus, you're gonna need to, in order to like keep up with growing traffic issues, and all that good stuff. So like, that's annoying. So I'm gonna have to destroy. Can I destroy that? I guess I can't destroy that, which makes sense. I can if I do this. I'm gonna purchase. Although, is that what I want to purchase? So I have some options. I can either buy this land, which has some pretty lush forest, it looks like. Doesn't have any ore. This doesn't have any ore either, but it has good farming resources, and it has a train connection. I think I'm gonna buy this. So I just extended the city limits. I'm probably gonna get a tweet about that once I unpause this. Hit escape. back to here. But I just want to... this is silly. I want to upgrade this, but this is not going to let me because they're too wide. However, if I had this land, I could like extend these out and not have to worry about that. Upgrade these. Cool. So this is the way out. Have yet to unlock highway. So I guess I'm just gonna have to bottleneck that, which kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? Might as well get as close as I can. Just like here. And then, yeah. Too steep. What are you talking about? Oh, I guess because... okay, so I guess I can't do that. I can, like, do it here, maybe? There we go. Alright, there we go. So that's ugly, but, you know, what are you gonna do? So now I have enough for a high school, which I'm gonna build. Keep my people smart. Must be built by a roadside. That's what I'm doing. It's also kind of awkward to like build sometimes in this game. Kind of gotta finesse it. There we go. So there's our high school. Our sad-looking high school. They really kind of nailed the kind of prison-esque architecture of American schools. Well, this kind of looks like a weird, like, Japanese school or something. Alright. Let's see. Let's just play this, see how everything goes. This road's going to get pretty busy now that there's a school built next to it. Let's see what happens. They're going to start building. Probably going to be losing money. Yeah, population's going down because I just destroyed a bunch of houses. Our high school availability is high. Elementary school, not so much. That is because we only have one. So the amount of people eligible versus the capacity. As you can see, it's getting in the yellow, which means we probably need to upgrade. Not upgrade, but add a school. Health-wise, our capacity's pretty good. Trash, let's see. Trash is doing pretty good, I guess. Fire hazard, 47%. Kind of losing some coverage on the outskirts. I might want to build one here. I'll build it on this road. I guess it wants me to destroy that house. So there it is. Parks are very important. Because without parks, your citizenry get depressed. And happiness is important. So, gotta build parks. Already occupied by what? Oh, fire department. So I'm gonna build a big old park. And you might be wondering why I'm building it in the middle of the industrial zone. That is because if you build parks, then the workers are happy and the industry itself actually upgrades, and you start getting like high-tech industry and whatnot. So building parks around there is pretty important. Let's build another park like right here. Get everyone happy. This thing right here is it's like botanical garden, I think is what it's called. Yep.
The Coast Guard is warning of a tsunami approaching the area.
Wait, a
Residents
tsunami?
should avoid roads and waterfronts.
Oh no. It begins. Let's see. Where's the water coming from? Wait. Okay, so this is interesting. I can end on this note actually because this is running pretty long. We're at 34 minutes. So These are disasters, and as you can see, they're pretty intense. So we're getting some
A
flooding,
tsunami has struck the city. Take caution
and
and
cars
avoid
will
roads
actually
and waterfronts until the water
float away.
recedes.
Oh no. So you'd assume it would come from, you know, the water, body of water, but apparently water can just randomly appear and cause a tsunami. See, everyone's running around. And at this point, I don't really have any disaster relief infrastructure built in yet. In the same section as the fire, there's this little thing right here where you can build. I don't even have anything unlocked. You can build shelters, disaster response units, and like different like sensory kind of infrastructure, like earthquake detectors, radio masts, which broadcast emergency systems to your people, weather radar, you know, for detecting storms before they hit, deep space radar for detecting meteors, tsunami warning buoys, which in this case wouldn't have been very helpful because the water seemed to just kind of come out of nowhere. Alright, so the water's just kind of traveling around, flooding houses, which is unfortunate. We've got spare flippers, need to get to work. Flood, hashtag flood. Yeah, so they're definitely not happy about that. You guys are underwater? No, you're not. Oh, I guess they are. Or is that a pool? No, they're underwater. Huh. That went everywhere. That started like over here. Oh man, the whole place is flooded. I'm losing a lot of money probably. I don't think any buildings were destroyed though. Okay. So while that happens, I'll go back to the botanical garden. This thing really kind of spreads happiness. I think everyone should turn blue now, yeah. So now everyone's happy pretty much.
A tsunami has struck the city. Take caution and avoid roads and waterfronts until the water recedes.
Another one? No, that's the same one. It has to be. Let me just speed this up. Let me get it. Another important thing to build, which I might actually be able to build now, is... I guess not. Freshwater outlet. I might actually build one of those. This is to drain excess water, I think. Freshwater outlet lets out excess water. Yep, in the system. So those are important. I'll build one like here. Let's build two, just for good measure. See if that helps. See if that gets rid of anything. Oh, well, it's underwater now. And this water's kind of... Outside connection needed. Please connect. Oh, okay. It's yelling about that. So we're having another flood, it looks like. Where the water's just fluctuating. I noticed when I downloaded the... disaster map that the water like simulation got a lot more like crazy, and like sometimes you get these random like spikes where there's just like this huge kind of like wave, but it often doesn't really result in anything too crazy. But man, this water's level's kind of all over the place. Canned food, water. Alright, so we have some abandoned buildings. I don't know if it's because of the flooding, maybe? Could have been. Got rid of them, whatever that was for. Now, let's build some zoning, shall we? Let's get some housing. Probably by the school. People would like that. Because there's a lot of demand for school right now. Or for housing, sorry. Yep. But that's probably not gonna quench that need. So I'm gonna build out here. Let's build it like here. Then I'll like extend this. Going in on 40 minutes. I'll start to curve this in like that. That one. And I have a feeling this road's going to become pretty trafficked, so I'm going to proactively do this. Actually, do you know what? Let's build this out like that. And then, well, in that case, I don't even need this road. I could just extend this out to here. Actually, I'll just extend this out to there like that. Awesome. Can't forget about water. Let's do this. Extend these out. And then let's get some houses up in here. Don't need that no more. Zone out more space there. Let's just make this all housing. Abandoned building. Yeah, I think these are all from the water damage or something. We're gonna let that go. Watch as the city builds, and I think this is a good way, a good place to cut off, I guess. Got pretty far. Population 2,189. City needs more power, apparently. Yeah, we do. Alright, we made it to Boom Town, which means we unlocked busing, transportation, some unique buildings, the ore industry specialization, recycling, recreational use, so now they can smoke pot legally if I choose to enact that. Also some very important roads, highway ramps, which come into play pretty bigly. Some three-way like on-ramps, off-ramps, clover leaves. Advanced wind turbine, which is pretty cool. Disaster response. These are pretty important for disaster relief. This is pretty good for downplaying traffic. Medical helicopter depot. So more helicopters in the air, less ambulances on the road. Cemetery. We're gonna start having to worry about death care, as well as health care. So getting dead bodies out of houses when people die. Emergency shelters, which are going to be important for evacuating cities. Although when there are disasters and when you do call people to these, you take a pretty big financial hit. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's worth letting a couple people die. Parks and Recreation, we didn't really unlock anything. We're going back in time, so we're at Busy Town. Or no, we're not. We're at Boom Town. So, yep. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check out the next episode when it comes out and the previous episodes if you would like to follow along. When we come back, we're going to build another power plant and quench some... Actually, I might build some of these. Overall fix our power problem and do some bus transportation stuff. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed this, and as always, this has been Colonial Puppet. Have a nice day.